welders, but I know that they hold. I know that they're good, strong. Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name's Ashley and this is Ohio Off-Road. So this isn't going to be a Jeep build video. It's not an off-roading video. I'm going to practice my welding today. We really haven't gotten much more progress on the Jeep as it stands. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to run our 3-link suspension in the front. I figured that I would take the time today and work on some of my welding skills. I've been pretty comfortable with welding 3/16 and 1/4 inch stuff. I haven't had the chance to weld anything thinner. So I found some welding kits that are made by a company called CNA, and they sell little welding kits. So what their welding kits that I got are, I got a cube that's a 2 inch by 2 inch metal that is only 1/8 thick. So it'll give me a little bit of a chance to figure out how to weld on a skinnier metal, not as thick of material, because eventually I'll be welding our sheet metal, which I know 1/8 is still thicker than sheet metal. The other thing that I got, which I'm really excited to try and work out, is still by that same company, is CNA, is this little welding kit. You weld these two together and it makes a ball. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works out for me, but who knows? We'll see. I'm riding solo in the garage today, so I'm gonna get these cleaned up, get everything prepared to go. All right, so I got all 6 pieces of my cube here, all beveled, edges cleaned off. I am gonna use some acetone to clean the metal because you don't want dirty metal when you're welding. Guys, I am not a professional welder. I literally have only been welding for probably 10 hours. So I'm very much still learning proper welding techniques, stuff like that. So this is not a how-to weld. What I used to clean off my edges is a little mini flap wheel. I love these things because they take no time at all. I'm gonna grab some acetone, wipe those off with a paper towel or a rag, get them all nice and clean. Last one cleaned off here with my acetone on a rag. Yep. So you guys are probably wondering how I learned how to weld. Well, pretty much Josh and Jeff kind of pretty much taught me how to weld. Me and Josh were watching YouTube videos on how to fill a gap, and it was right when we were welding the Dana 60 together, and our neighbor stopped over and was talking, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a go, and put the welding helmet on. Josh made sure that the welder was on the right things, and I just kind of went to town, and I kept getting better and better. So welding is kind of like my newest hobby that I like to do. Super excited to try and get better at it. But yeah, all right. So I honestly have no idea what I'm doing, so this is gonna be interesting. But what I do know is that I'm creating a square. So what I wanna do is I wanna make sure that I have these lined up correctly and as flush as I can with each other, because it's gonna create a full cube. Pretty sure I want it kind of like that, except for I do want this out just a little bit. So I'm creating, I don't know if you can see it, a little ridge for my weld to sit in there. It's not perfect yet. It's gonna take me a hot second to get it figured out where exactly I want it and how I want it. Because again, I've literally only been welding for 10 hours of my life. Okay, that should work, I think. Right. And I'm gonna just tack these together, that way I can get everything kind of placed, and that way I can go about trying to get my cube formed without it being a complete mess or a disaster, which every time I adjust this, that's what it's making it out to be. I think that's where I like it. Gotta go turn on the welder. Alright, so I have my 2 pieces lined up where I want to. Now time to get the welder on the correct settings. Lucky for me, this Hobart welder has a cheat sheet for settings right on the front. So let's see what I gotta do here. This is 1/8 metal out of hurt. And we're running 0.35 wire. So if I look at 1/8, it's saying I should have it 2.6 and 35. See how that does. I have my ground hooked up to the table here because it's going to be absolutely impossible to get it attached to that metal and try to weld that metal there. I'm going to move everything else out of the way and see how well this tacks. If the tacks look good, then I'll keep it on that setting. If not, then I just got to adjust. So, okay. Nothing to it but to do it. Let's go. Okay. Overall, I think that setting is going to work. No undercutting or anything like that I've noticed. So let's get the rest of these lined up and tack welded in and get to welding this block together. So try and get my other part in here. It's gonna be a little tricky because my magnets don't fit all the way inside and it slides kind of right in there, but it's really loose. So I'm going to try a C-clamp here. Might work, might not. Who knows? But I'm going to give it a go. So try and get it as level at the top. Put my 2 magnets on it to get it flush. And then I got my C-clamp on it. Now I got my C-clamp. And of course it's not 100% perfect. I think a little tapper should help out with that. Perfect. All right, last set of tack welds going in. All right, so it's not perfect. I have gaps where I don't want gaps, and clearly I should have probably done a little bit more figuring out where these need to lay, but it looks like a square, right? So I have all my tack welds in all the way around. I am gonna take a little bit of a grinder and get some of these little extra bead thingies off because there's a lot of splatter coming off. This tube's really warm. But now all I gotta do is weld it all together. Then I'm gonna use my flat disc, clean it up a little bit, and we'll see the final product. All right, so I have all the welds welded on here. Some of them turned out better than others. As you can see right here, I have some porosity there. I think that's because I had turned down the settings because it was kind of leaving those thick, let me find a good one, like welds like this that are really thick and you can't see the actual like stacking of the welds on top of each other. This one here turned out pretty good. Still a little bit kind of boogery. This thing's still really hot because there's a lot of welds. That one there, I like how that one there looks with the dimes there. So I'm gonna get a wire brush, clean these up a little bit, see how they look. And go from there, see if I need to touch up anywhere or anything like that. So now this is a little bit cooler enough for me to handle in my gloves. I'll go over some things with you guys. Again, I'm not a professional welder. I just know what I've been taught, and I watch some YouTube videos to help improve my ability to weld. One thing that I know I definitely have to work on is my consistency, because some of these welds look pretty good, and then there's other ones that look like straight boogers. But I know that they hold. I know that they're good strong welds because I'm getting good penetration into the metal. You'll see like the discolorations throughout the metal. When you're getting good penetration, the metal that you're welding to is going to discolor. I think it's really pretty. But anywho, let me get a closer look for you guys. So as you can see, some of them are fatter than others. This one on the side looks pretty good here. This one's probably the best weld that I have that's on here. More so because you could see the stacking of each weld on top of each other, where one's like this just kind of looks like a booger. But even though it looks like a booger, you can see the discoloration in that metal, and I know that it is a strong weld. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the flap wheel to it, and I'm gonna clean some of these up because apparently from it laying down on the table, I got some excess wire on it and some splatters. So I'm gonna clean it up a little bit and see how it looks from there. Okay, well, I didn't work on cleaning up the welds too really much because I wanna make sure that I'm learning off of what I did differently for each of these welds. Some of these I kind of sped through, other ones I took my time. Yeah, overall, I really liked using this welding kit from CNA. And to be honest, I think I accidentally put their logo on the inside of the cube instead of the outside. Whoopsie! But yeah, overall, it was a great learning experience for me. I do have the ball that I can set up and do. I'm contemplating on learning TIG welding as well. Jeff has a TIG welder that he keeps asking me if I want to learn how to do. So that might be something that I do sometime in the close future, learning how to TIG weld. But I think I am going to MIG weld that one. I'm very comfortable with the MIG welder. I think I stick welded once at Jeff's house, just playing around. If you look back on my Instagram, which is Ohio Offroad Ashley, if you go over there, you can see I made a post about that, I think back in November, December-ish, of the stick welding that I did. But I'm gonna keep on practicing. Hopefully my welds get more consistent. Those of you that do weld, let me know what you think. I know they're not the prettiest welds, but what in my technique can I improve to be more consistent and stuff like that? So guys, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, drop a comment down below, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys. All right, Josh, so here's the cube.
Okay.
I wasn't very consistent, but what do you think?
I mean, it's gonna hold. I've seen you do better, but
There's one really good one on there.
yeah.
The thing is trying to get the wire speed and the penetration correct.
Yeah.
Because the wire, one of the really big boogery ones was the first weld that I did, and it just seemed like the wire speed was way too fast.
It's a good square. I mean, a cube, I guess.
But is it really a cube?
No. It's like a abstract cube.
But for my first time welding something completely on my own,
Yep.
and putting it all together, how do you think I did?
You did good. It's definitely good strong welds. I mean, it's just some of them are boogery. When you